Hello everyone, welcome back to EToH. Hey EToH. And what are we doing? We're ranking every insane difficulty tower. Since I just beat Remorseless, now I'd be an insane. And I don't know why I said and was ranking all 20 insane difficulties from worst to best. And Extreme is going to take a while since Extreme sucks. So we haven't oh my god, this portal room looks amazing. This portal Wow, this portal looks amazing. The tower's going to be underwater theme. No, ooh, okay, this is going to be some quality. It's interesting. Tower of thinning layers. Ooh, ooh. But judging off the portal room, it's going to be good, right? No. Yeah, tower of thin layers is last. This is worse than Confusion, worse than Extreme Hell. This is one of the worst towers I have ever played, and I'm glad I get to make this ranking so I can rant about this tower. And how horrible, on how garbage this gameplay is. Okay, so, really, this tower is just insufferable. Well, first you have the, okay, let's be honest, Floors 1 to 4, there's really anything atrocious. It's awful because you have to replay it over and over, but nothing really bad, except for the bottom of floor 3. That's pretty bad with his low jumps. But you know, not that bad. And then at this point, I'm just gonna use it to practice, but it's like don't ever want to play through this ever again. But then we get to floor 5 with these honestly god awful rack runs. I'm not talking about these two. I'm talking about these ones. When you don't know the strat to them, sure they may be consistent if you know it, but if you don't know the strat, like this is me after I got consistent. It took me 1.5 days to do that. So yeah, if you don't know consistency, that sucks. This whole tower sucks basically. But then again, this whole tower sucks. Then you have this. I know you can skip high jump, but during skipping high jump is so. I can do it in the practice place, but I can almost never do it in the tower, so I have to lodge. And sometimes it just goes like that, just flaccid. Then I guess there's nothing we to talk about. 6 is just generic. 7 is generic. 8 is probably the part I expected to hate, but I don't really hate it. Of course, this gameplay is awful. Like yeah. Floor 9 is generic, and floor 10 is kind of generic. I failed this 2 times. And I guess both of them were on me because of my nerves. Okay. You know, I'm gonna do the rest of the review here since I can't be bothered to go. What a garbage experience this is. I mean that. If you like this gameplay, you'll probably like this tower. In fact, this will probably just be fun. You won't mind it. But I hate this. I hated this so much. This honestly, as an experience, this is probably the worst soul crushing experience I've had so far. Maybe tied one other tower on this list, but other than that, God, this was pure awful playthrough. And honestly, I'll say this right now. Controversial take. I don't know why people keep repeating this. Genuinely, I don't. This type of I don't. Even if you like this gameplay, there's nothing here. If you want we be insane difficulty, why not difficulty chart? Why not difficulty chart? That one's fine. Or high adrenaline, unsettling heights, double trouble, literally any other insane difficulty. Why? I do not get why this could ever be liked. I genuinely mean that. This is worse than Zest Plus. I mean that. This is worse than Zest Plus. Zest Plus is undoubtedly awful, but at least I got something. At least I enjoyed it. At least I got some enjoyment. This is just misery. This tower itself is pure. It was pure bad. What an amazing way to say that, but I mean that. This was just suffering. I couldn't stand this. And the fact is, no, this is not mid-insane. I refuse to believe this is ever mid-insane. That this is ever scientifically as inevitable failure, curved descent, icy blizzards. No, this is awful, and I truly hate this. This definitely was an F tier as a 2.1 out of 10. I just hated this experience so much. It was just so ungodly awful, and I never get to play again. I'm happy for that. I am happy knowing that I never get to play this garbage again. Oh god, rant is over. The rant is over. one of the two rants in this video is over. Now your tower confusion. This is not the other rant. And thankfully, it's really easy to see why this tower is bad. Because the first three floors are just entirely loop fail and harder than the rest. However, I'm gonna say, let's go, another hot take. I'll be honest, I don't hate floor 1 or floor 2. Floor 1 only has one bad jump, which is the jump from here to here. Which I'll be honest, it's pretty painful, not bad. Floor 2 has 2 bad jumps. And they're both on technically 3, but I don't know. It's just that the entire conveyor. Like the hex pusher to thin side to conveyor, and conveyor to thin side. That whole sequence. It sucks, but it's not that bad. Floor 3, however, Floor 3 is terrible! Floor 3 is undoubtedly garbage! I don't know how people say Floor 2 is harder. Floor 3 is genuine suffering. I hate almost all of Floor 3. It was just so unholy and bad. I don't know why I said unholy. But yeah, if I had to give a rank, Floor 1's like peak insane. Makes sense. Floor 2 is like high extreme. I would give it. Floor 3 is like high terrifying. I mean that. Floor 3 is way harder than Floor 2. It's so bad. Floor 3 is awful. But then after you do that, the rest of the tower is free. Except, I'll be honest, I don't like Floor 5A. 5A is just thin stud spam and harder than Floor 1, I'll be honest. Not harder than Floor 2 and 3. And not as bad as Floors 2 and 3. But yeah, it's pretty bad. But once you get there, it's free. You basically win. Unless you choke, or unless you're on side C, which side C, I'll be honest, until you get to like 8th side C, like side 8 of C, it's awful. It feels horrible as a loop failing experience, and it is bad. So yeah, that's basically it. It's very easy to explain why it sounds bad, but at least I had some fun on the tumor that was thinning layers. And surprisingly, this doesn't get F tier. This only gets D- tier. That's a 3.1 out of 10. So yeah, it is awful, but we all knew that already. Yeah. All right, we had 2 pretty terrible towers out of the way. Let's hope that it's okay. I know it's going to get better. I know. Whatever we have next, hey, maybe next tower will just be like extreme hell, or maybe even bad chance, something like that. It's not terrible. Oh my god, no. Not... Oh god, I think I should talk about this, because this was just like last place, this was just so miserable to complete. Then I refuse to believe this is just high insane. No, this is peak insane. God, this gameplay, it's off. It's insufferable, this gameplay. Obviously, when you play this tower, when you first play it, you'll be on the first video, so like, hey, this is pretty decent. Maybe even this is good. Or if you go into a practice place, it's like, huh, this is kind of fun. So the last few floors are a little bit long, but it's fine. Then you start to play it. Jesus, the whole time grinding this felt like torture. I gradually stopped going more positive towards this tower as the grind went on, because this tower is so insufferable. It's so long. Look, this latter half is so much longer, and like once you get to 7, the floors 7 to 10 are longer than the floors 1 to 6. Like and they're so much harder. Genuinely, that's just my issue. That's my issue. It just gets so long, but not in a good way. It's just so bad. And this gameplay, it feels like it was manufactured to be as annoying and loop failure as possible. Like it didn't want you. Honestly, this was depressing. This tower made me depressed when I was grinding it, because I could have been finishing out the monsters or doing the other insanes. But no, I did this. Sure, I beat it, but at what cost? This tower was off. It was genuinely off. And also, I'm just gonna say it. Why this game? We don't need more task towers. So Zips that pop was amazing, but this tower, no, this is not getting the game. I cannot get who wanted this. Who could have ever wanted this? Why was this picked as an insane? They're like, oh yeah, yes, the people will consume it. This will be loved. This will get No! This is awful. This is almost... almost as bad experience as things. This was, I almost considered this being worse than Confusion. This was that awful. God, playing this was just so unfun. The only reason it's not lower is because even with the gameplay being this low, I know it can be fun. But it's getting 3.1, same as Confusion. Honestly, it could be worse than Confusion. It's just, I hate this tower. This tower is so insufferable. And I'm glad I never get to beat this again, because this was just hemorrhage, a hemorrhage of a tower. And okay, the trilogy of god awfulness has been concluded. Now we can talk about towers I just don't really like, such as Tower of Bentrama right here. Lovely, a fan favorite, and it's my fourth least. Oh god, how do I? So I'll be honest, this was one of my earlier insane difficulties, like my fourth one to be completed. And I'll be honest, I hated it. Well, not fourth, my fifth one to be completed. As an experience, this is awful. I will say, this is just so... And I'm gonna regurgitate what I said on my Almost Plus rankings. Any bit of gameplay that extends outwards of the frame, besides the final stretch, because the final stretch is fine, is horrible. Like, all the gameplay that extends outside of frame that isn't a final stretch is just awful in terms of gameplay. Like this so much harder in a necessary way than the rest. And I just couldn't stand it. But I'll be honest, if you play a tower by itself, like not as one of your hardest, then I could imagine it being fine. And hell, maybe this could grow on me. It's just I don't really like this gameplay. And I probably shouldn't have gone for this as early as I did, like as one of my first insane difficulties. But I just decided to, and now my mood's kind of soured from it. But it's a D+ tier, nowhere near as bad as the Bomb 3 though. Be a 4.1 out of 10, and everything so far has been a 0.1 so far. I don't know why. That's just it. Hooray, we're in Rain 5. Oh Jesus, we're talking about Tower of Icy Blizzards. This tower more so kind of just mediocre, in a sense. Really nothing else from it, other than just being fine. And I'll be honest, I'm glad that's just fine, instead of being actively negative towards it. I'll say the problem, the gameplay is pretty annoying. Like as is. The gameplay just being not my thing. The ice gameplay isn't really that bad, it's just everything else is just kind of like a hard tower to like. It's kind of just lucky it made it this high. But I'll be honest, I'm probably speaking nonsense at this point. But yeah, at least it wasn't bad, and at least I semi-enjoyed parts of it while I did. And it's a C tier, just C tier, a 5.2 out of 10, but not the good, not ice. Oh yeah, while I'm going to this tower, I want to add on a segment I forgot, add on Tower Vivid sections. So imagine Tower Vivid sections. How I did is that I didn't have short runs, I had kind of long ones. Long ones with Tower Vivid sections. But yeah, I think every one I had that was 50+ minutes long. And I like 12 different attempts. So yeah, imagine 12 different 51 attempts. Yeah, so that made me the same Tower Vivid sections. Well yeah, I like Zone 10. I think every tower, sorry. Besides Inset Train is good, so this one's good too. Oh no. Oh no! Yo, I gotta talk about Tower of Royal My World, cause this is probably the most disappointing tower on this list, I gotta be honest. And why is it I gotta be honest, this is just entirely design over gameplay. I felt that. I felt that the whole time. Like, the design looks nice. Unfortunately, I'm not a person who takes design into this. It's only about gameplay. And what I think about the gameplay? Incredibly frustrating. And I'll be honest, this should be an extreme difficulty. Because there's no way this is just high peak insane. This is at least the peak of insane difficulty. This is hard in Tiki time. Hey time, I don't care what else is said. But about the gameplay itself, God, this gameplay, this is just probably some of the most awkward gameplay to ever exist in EToH. It's just so bad. And honestly, I feel like this is just, since they add button progress, they feel the need to make the gameplay, like, unnecessarily hard. That's not a good thing. Just because you have button presses doesn't mean you can make it harder. And like hard in a bad way at least. And god, this tower just got me in a bad mood. Like I beat it in basically one attempt, but that one attempt was just so miserable. And so long to, like, I'll be honest. Once you get to like floors 4 and 5, we have to choose which one. Right, if you take that path, that gameplay is just bad. That's like high extreme gameplay. Gameplay. I refuse to believe it's not. Basically all the gameplay in this tower is extreme. I won't even lie. It's just god, this tower is just so unbalanced and so. This is just so bad. The only reason it's this high is because at least I guess I had some fun, and I can respect its creativity at least, kind of. Even though design over gameplay, it should be something frowned upon. At least this is fine. At least it is slightly creative. But god, this was not enjoyable at all. I must say this was just a painful experience, and a 5.3 out of 10. Out of 10. It was just. So yeah, it was just basically suffering at least. So why am I? Okay, I'm no longer completely negative. We're not towers I like yet, but I'm no longer completely negative. We have since we have tower with difficulty chart, and this was kind of there. This is the probably most okay tower in this list. Nothing good about it, nothing bad about it. It's just kind of there. And I will say, first 5 floors aren't that bad. And floor 8 is probably the best floor. It's really fun. Well, so what's the problem? 6 is very bad. 6 is a very annoying floor with repetition. And I guess 7 is a bit weak, but that's for it. And floor 9 is basically harder than the rest. But not in a good way harder, it's just kind of there. Floor 10 I have no problems with. So yeah, that's all. That's basically everything in this tower. I have probably the least to say about this, but it's not bad. 5.9 out of 10. Still, damn. Finally, the towers I like. So tower with high adrenaline. What do I think about high adrenaline? I think it's fine. I will say I enjoy the red floors. The red floors are just very fun. And also floor 10. Floor 10 is also pretty fun as a speedrun. That's nice. Unfortunately, those are basically the only floors I like. Because these first 2 floors are boring. Floors 3 and 4 are actually pretty bad, actually. I said actually way too much, but yeah, they're pretty bad. And floors 7 and 8 are basically fully outside. That's it. Oh, and floor 9 is just insanely boring. And the hardest floor easily, but not in a good way. But yeah, apart from those, I don't really have much to say about this, like, difficulty chart. But it's a B tier, at least, a 6.0 out of 10. So I don't mind it that much, really. Really is a mid. Alright now. Tower of Extreme Hell being this high, wow. Holy peak. Wow, Tower of Extreme Hell. Why is this high, since this is a pretty hated insane tower? Honestly, I don't get it. I say that, but I completely get it. Because one of the conveyors, you can't really tell how fast they go unless you have a guide. And I did fail to bring that up and rank everyone Monsters Plus. But yeah, the conveyors can be an issue. But if you have a guide, it's not really a problem. But then you have floors 9 and 10 are just horrible. Yeah, they're just horrible and easily the hardest part of the tower. Because it's so unfair. They have such unfun jumps, and like 60 and over half of my run was spent on those 2 floors alone. So I get the hate for those 2 floors. But honestly, and I mean honestly, other than the conveyors and the last 2 floors, I like the gameplay. I mean, I liked the gameplay. It was quite enjoyable. This was never going to be a 7 out of 10, but it was fine enough. And though the last 2 floors do ruin it a bit, I still don't dislike it. The gameplay that I do like is pretty nice. And a 6.2 out of 10. I don't know. The gameplay I do like, I like a lot. Let's go! Hooray! I get to rant about how overrated Tower of Holle Reformations is! Yay! Good god, yay, let's go. Overrated as hell. I'm gonna forever call this overrated because, wow. I will say, I expected worse. When I beat this, I thought it was going to be way lower. At least, at most, a C tier. But playing this, I guess it's fine, it can be here. The problem is, the gameplay just feels incredibly off and unsight readable. I guess for a tower like this, where it has a lot of safety and it is very short, you could make it harder, but this is not the way. Okay, here's how I see it. ToCav is this, but infinitely better. With ToCav, it's also incredibly short. However, the client object keys and Prism feel fair. They feel good. They feel hard, but they feel good. But in this tower, they just feel a bit much. I'll be honest. But I'll be honest. If this had to be in game just so that ToCav could be made, then fair enough. But still, I guess I like this enough to be in B tier, but definitely not one of the best. Definitely not one of the best Insanes. God no. This probably became more of me hating on how popular it is, but I don't know, it's funny. And it's a 6.3 out of 10, and didn't make it into the top half, sadly. Okay. Let's go. Top half time, top 10 time, top. My 10 is the top. What Tower of Double Trouble. And honestly, it's time to start getting positive, because Tower of Double Trouble is pretty good, pretty nice, pretty extremely decent. Now I will say this is very simple. It's basically just rap insane difficulty rap tower. But honestly, it does extremely well. Well, and sure it's 20 plus minutes, but I feel like it's fine for this to be 20 plus minutes, because nothing's wrong about the gameplay. I mean, I'll be honest, nothing's very special about this gameplay, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to go through and pretty fun to play through. It's just very good gameplay all around. And I have really nothing else to say. It's standard. It's good. 6.8 out of 10. Out of 10, very nice. Wow. Hooray! Tower of Infinity Gauntlet is pretty good. Pretty nice tower, I must say. And if I'll be honest. I don't know why I'm being honest about. Oh yeah, tower. First good tower on the list. I really like this tower. And I'll be honest. There's one floor I don't really like. That's it's. I think two or 4. I forgot which one, but it's one of those. In fact, these first few floors aren't that special. I'll be honest. They're good, but not that special. But once you get to like 4, 5, like the actual freestone floors, that's where it gets really good. And also really fun. So it's a bit of detonation, but that I really like the gameplay. I will say the one problem I did have was the dropper part. Drop part I feel like is a bit too. I would say a bit too much, and technically it might just be a skill issue, but I don't know. I think it's a bit punishing, even though it's probably the point of it. But again, that might just be a big pick. But either way, this is still incredibly solid, insane difficulty. And first A minus tier, I give it a 7.3 out of 10 for just being really good, and definitely better than Thanos Tower. I gotta be honest. What to next? We have Tower of Mind Breaking. Hooray! Another very fun tower. However, this one actually does have a few flaws, I must say. So first of all, I'll just be completely honest. So the first 4 floors are boring. Not only boring, but they're pretty annoying. The first 4 floors. It's not until you get to 4, 5 for the blue floor where things start actually getting really fun. I mean, really fun. This tower's pretty hit or miss, but when it hits, oh wow, it hits me hard. What? Wait, I'll be honest. I'm surprised I was able to look back the flaws, because yeah, first of all, the techs are not bad even, that's annoying. But luckily if the others is very fun, especially 410. I really like 410. In fact, the last 7 floors, to be fair, are really good, I'll be honest. And I'll be honest, the glitches this tower uses very nice, very nice. This just has a unique gameplay style, and I really like it. It's a 7.5 out of 10. Is that good? Yeah. 3 minutes. Oh my god! Oh, falling! Oh! Tower of Inevitable Failure time. And this is funny factoid, but the only insane difficulty that I have actually re-beaten for some reason. It was for a monthly challenge. It was for a monthly challenge, but I beat it and it was funny. I am mind beating it. But now we have the tower itself right here. Now I'll be honest, it's just simple gameplay. I like its gameplay. I think. I'll be honest, it's just simple trust gameplay, but I think it does this trust gameplay pretty well. If this though were to fail on anything, I guess it'd be like the more jank aspects, since this tower just have a bit of jank in it. Like those aspects are really fun, but everything else, like when it's just full purism, it's pretty nice. And pretty fun tower with no any issues. At some point 8 out of 10. Admittedly I did used to like this one way more, but I just put it low because I realized this is as good as the other ones. But still not bad though. It really enjoyable, insane difficult, and a good rebeat. Definitely. Alright, just missing out. Number 6, we have Tower of Rough Endoplasmic Reticulum, and this tower pains me still. This song is just kind of a painful tower to talk about, because this could be great. This could have been great. I could have seen myself easily adoring this tower. But unfortunately, I don't think it's great. I think it's extremely good. And what's the problem? What's the problem with the gameplay? Well, I'll be honest, the last 2 floors are pretty loot-faily. That's one, especially floor 9. Maybe not so much floor 10, but floor 9 is incredibly loot-faily. As for anything else I was referring, I'll say these first 3 floors aren't really that fun. Specifically 3, I think. But I'll be honest, other than 9 and 3, basically this whole tower is just incredibly fun and well made. The gameplay is really good. And but this is just a 7.9 out of 10. Unfortunately, I don't have that much to say other than how this could have been top 5, and I'm kind of sad that isn't. But I'll be honest, my top 5 are just that good. That good. My top 5. These are my boys, my goats. The best insane thing game, and we saw it with Tower of Curve Ascent. Now, why this is the weakest? This is basically kind of the simplest of the four. I will say. That's it. It's really the simplest. Yes, I will say it's pretty consistent in enjoyability. But what I'm saying, but okay, it's not. Let's talk positively. I like its punishment. I'll be honest. Like the floors that are over nothing. If you fail, honestly, they're not even bad. In fact, in my opinion, there's only one section that I don't really like, and I think it's on floor 8. The conveyors on top. Kind of like Extreme Hell, the conveyors are a bit unfair. In fact, I'll say that those conveyors are a little more unfair than the Extreme Hell. But I'll be honest, all this gameplay is just amazing and really fun to play through. This was just a fun tower in general. You know, like all of it. Like this section is in loot-faily. This section isn't too hard. This is just probably the most consistent, insane in game in terms of enjoyability. And A+ tier. So 8.4 out of 10. Really nice. Really good tower. Cool punch. Cool punch. I know. Generic to put Tower Polychromatic 0 in some of the top tiers. There's a reason that this is popular, because it's good. It's really good. It's really good, same difficulty. Not for why I really like this. I'll be honest, the clicker mechanic is amazing. The clicker mechanic is simply a phenomenal mechanic. It's greatly used in this tower. I don't think there's any bad uses, I'll be honest. Sure, it could be finicky if like on mobile you have to tap it, or if you have latency issues, but that's more so a Roblox problem, not really a problem with this tower. Because honestly, most of this gameplay is just so satisfying. I will say, parts I don't really like. There's just one part where we have to like climb down onto a chest. That was a little, I can't really see. I think it's on floor 4. I forgot. We had that part we have to climb down and reach a chest. That part's a little consistent, but other than that part, I don't think there's really any bad things. I think I did probably used to have problems with the last 4 floors. But I think that was just my nerves and me being nervous because because those aren't really bad. Again, I only remember one cringe part. But other than that, this tower was pretty consistently amazing. It's just a good tower. Net, probably need no explanation. Being 8.5 out of 10. 10 just being really nice. Top 3, we're talking about Tower of Tiki time. I'm actually not sure what the consensus is, whether it's good or bad, but I like it. I love it a lot. And I'll be honest, it's crazy the difference between this and Tower of Right on My World. Because Right on My World, feels like all the points went to design a here's how I make the gameplay as annoying as possible. But with Tiki time, all the Tiki time, basically no. Little thought was put. I wasn't gonna say no thought, but little thought was put into the design. But that just means that the gameplay was given all the thought, and it's pristine. And I wasn't gonna say no design because for a classic tower, this actually looks good. I like all the buildings, right? This is very nice. But now the gameplay, which is because this is a 45 plus minute long insane tower. Is it worth it? Yes, it is. And that's weird because this is also a tower that cycles between punishing and forgiving a lot. And that's pretty weird. But I'll be honest, there's only one case of it being bad. And unfortunately, it's probably the worst case. It's probably the worst part where it could be punishing because on, you know, the two trial on floor 9. Those who beat it know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that one just goes on for a long time and probably has the hardest gameplay in the tower. And I did fail it once, and I'll be honest, I was sad. So yeah, that part could have been shortened down a bit, or at least made episode slightly easier. Cause honestly, everything else is good. Oh yeah, I will say, I hate, and I mean this, I hate the backwards X platforms. In fact, what's the first one? I think it may be inside, but yeah, we have to go backwards. The reason I hate it is because the very first one is so buggy and doesn't work right with the other ones. So yeah, that one kind of sucks. But luckily every other is kind of fine. Because I thought every X one was going to be like that, which is buggy. But thankfully it's only one. It's the earliest one, so it's not that bad. But honestly, this whole tower, I could have easily been annoyed. I could have seen like the part of me where I could have hated this. But honestly, this gameplay is just so fun. And I mean it, this gameplay is really good. It's just so unbelievably fun to play through all of it. Even the punishing sections that aren't the true trial are amazing. The forgiving sections are amazing. There's just so much in this tower that I could love and actually like. But more so, I love floor 10. Instead of floor 10 being punishing like a final punishment, it tries to be fully forgiving like a victory lap. And a true victory lap, not like something like Tower of Ankle City where it's just like small. This is a beautiful victory lap, and I love. And honestly, that's just amazing. Am I speaking nonsense? Maybe, but when this tower is good, I just love it that much. And it's an 8.6 out of 10. And I can't believe this is in the same area as as Tower of Right on My World. I'll forever hate on that tower. But come on, you're gonna let a classic tower beat you? Really? Come on. Oh, kill me. Second place, tower spinning right through. And I'll be honest, my 5th through 2nd place were actually really close. All four of these towers I do all like for all their own different ways. However, I decided to put this one as the best of these 4. And why do I think that? Well, I'll be honest, its highs are just so unbelievably high. I'll be honest. But however, it also probably has the lowest lows out of all 4 of them, because floors 8 and the last 3 floors are pretty weird. I think floor 10 has the excuse of being weird because it is the final floor and it does make sense to be a little crazy. However, I cannot excuse 8 and 9, especially 9. 9 is kind of it's almost a bad floor. Well, because that's the weirdest gameplay out of all the tower, and definitely the hardest in my opinion. So yeah, with 3 floors I'm not so much big fan, but why is this tower so high? The other 7 floors are just peak. I gotta say right now, like, this speed gameplay, it is so unbelievably fun, and this tower itself was so fun. In fact, what a fun grind this was. Like, I'll be honest, this is I'll be honest, this was pure enjoyment. I enjoyed everything about this, almost everything about this tower. And again, I truly mean that. In terms of gameplay, this tower is simply amazing and good. And it gets also an 8.6 out of 10. 10. And to be fair, all four of these towers are good, but my number one, my number one, I have massive bias. I probably have massive bias, but it's just the best gameplay easily. Number one, probably the most biased first place of all time. My first soul-crushing Tower of Unsettling Heights. I will say, let me say this is the most underrated tower in the entire game. This might just be either this or ToH. Because this is criminally, this is abhorrently underrated. Okay, so when you hear people talk about Lost River, and this is just a my, okay, let's just think. If you ever think about Lost River, people have talked about the best tower in this area that they say is usually Tower of Unsettling Heights. Okay, valid. It's my favorite of Lost River too. However, if we talk outside of Lost River, do you ever see people bring this up as like, oh yeah, a good tower, or I like this? No, you do not. You almost never hear that, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Sure, everything else in Lost River that, isn't this tower, it isn't exactly good, so to say, except for compact spaces. I like compact spaces, but yeah, sure, this may be the only good thing, but that doesn't mean it deserves to get left out. This gameplay. This is amazing. This is some of the best gameplay in EToH. I will say these honey blocks, they are implemented so well, and also the fact that this is in Minecraft. This doesn't really have anything to do, but well, the fact that they transferred this from Minecraft into Roblox, that's impressive. It was also impressive, and honestly, this tower, even if I didn't know that, this tower would still be amazing. Dude, the modifiers, they're so good. These first 6 floors are pretty good. Even the ones I'm not so big on, such as floor 2, I still do like those. And the final 4 floors, they feel so climactic. Again, this may be biased because this is my first soul crushing, but I felt so many times, but not a single time was I mad. And there's no unfair sections, except for maybe that pushing on 8. But that's oh yeah, and also the first wrap, like transition from 8 to 9, that wrap is pretty hard. But in those 2 jumps, that final outside, just that final 4 floors in general, that was probably good difficulty, just like tough curves, and however even better than curves ascent, since it's probably the hardest part of this tower, but for once it earns it. It earns it because it's climactic. If you fall, you die. Honestly. I don't mean, what I mean by honestly, it's chill. But luckily, all this gameplay is good. Floor 6 works as a loop fail because it's probably the hardest gameplay in tower, but you can't fail except for the 12th stud, which is pretty cruel. But honestly kind of funny. And I might have only failed it once, I think. But yeah, but dude, I will forever love this tower, and this will forever be criminally underrated. It pains how it's so underrated and how this doesn't get talked about unless it's in the same area, unless it's in Lost River. Because this tower is just so amazing. Especially like that final stretch. Once you reach the final stretch and beat it, I've never felt so hype, except for maybe when I beat my first extreme. Cause that's honestly I could never justify it. This is S tier. This is truly S tier, and 9.2 out of 10. So it may not be a high S tier, but God, this insane difficulty is amazing. It is amazing. And anytime I rethink about it, just reminds me of when I grinded for my first soul crushing. And this was truly an amazing experience to be a part of. Corniness over. Alright lads, let's go. Here's my tier list. No, so I'm just gonna use the SC, so I'll just move around. So yeah, here's my insane tier list. Thanks for watching it, and as for ranking every extremes, that won't be out for a while. I'll be honest with you, thanks for watching. Remember, Unsullied Heights is peak, Toddle is overrated, ToVS should have never been in the game, have a day. Yeah, chill trap music.